What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we have something very exciting to talk about. Avengers Tower is back, so finally it's official. Avengers Tower is coming next week on Friday, where it'll be live on YouTube and on Twitch at 2 p.m. Pacific time in order to take on this challenge. This is a very interesting game mode where you'll be climbing a tower by defeating different teams and get up on that tower, and yeah, it's a challenge because all of the enemies are a puzzle. It's not exactly cookie cutter teams, and it makes it very interesting. So in this video we are going to talk about how to approach the Avengers Tower, how exactly does it work, and how do you have to organize your roster in order to take on this challenge. This Avengers Tower usually has milestone rewards and leaderboard rewards, so you want to climb as high as possible. As always, if you like the information on this video, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure you smash that like button. Okay, so let's get started. Once again, it's official, it's coming on the 30th of September. This is going to be on Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. This is 10 p.m. in Europe, 10 or 11 p.m. in Europe, and we'll be live on YouTube and on Twitch. So where do you find the Avengers Tower? You'll find the Avengers Tower on the same place where you find the Blitz. So this is gonna be here on the top, where you have this icon saying Blitz. This is where you'll find your Avengers Tower. All of these will be pushed to the right side, and then you'll have here the same icon that we have here, the same picture with the tower, and that's where you'll find it. Now, in the Avengers Tower, it will look similar to what Blitz looks like. You have your team and you have the enemy team. You can sim the battle and you can play on manual. I recommend to always play on manual because you don't want to lose, and you'll talk about why you don't want to lose in a second. So the enemies sometimes will be cookie cutter teams, other times they will not be cookie cutter teams, they will be puzzles. You can have teams like 2 Nebulas and the Infinity Watch, you can have 2 Zemos, 2 Ultrons. It can be very wacky, the teams that you'll face. And the teams that you can use, they can be cookie cutter or not. The Avengers Tower rewards creativity, rewards ingenious, and it's going to be important for you to sometimes mix match a few of the characters in order for you to win this challenge. As I mentioned before, it has milestone rewards and it has leaderboard rewards. The milestone rewards will go from floor 1 until floor 60, which is your checkpoint, and after floor 60 there are no more milestone rewards. And then climbing up, it's all about defeating the enemies, and then all those points that you get will go through the leaderboard. Now, the way the point system works is very interesting. So you can get points by climbing the tower, right? But if you reach to the top, you can lose on purpose to drop down to floor 60 to your checkpoint, so you can climb again. This will allow you to get some additional points in case you cannot defeat the last floors. So this is something that you can have in mind in order to exploit the point system to get additional points to climb higher on those leaderboards. Okay, so speaking of leaderboards and speaking of the checkpoint stage 60, when you are doing the Avengers Tower, you want to use as many characters as possible on the first days. You want to use your roster to the maximum potential on the first days. After the first days, the amount of characters that you will be able to use will greatly diminish, of course, because the enemies are more challenging, so all that junk that you have at the bottom of your roster will not be available. But on the first day, you can use all your junk, so you can come here with all your minions. So for example, we can make a team like this. You bring all your junk, and you can use this team in order to participate. You always need to have 5 members. it's there is no way around it. You always need to have 5 members. You cannot use like just 1 member for the easier floors. It's just not possible. You always have to use 5 members. So on the first day of the tower, you are probably going to use around 40 teams in case you have all the characters available. But then on the second node, you are going to use maybe 25 teams. And then on the third day, you are going to maybe use 10 teams, 15 teams, maybe, because it gets harder and harder with each floor you climb. And when you are climbing these floors after the checkpoint level 60, from 1 to 60, if you lose, you don't drop down the tower. But when you reach the checkpoint level 60, going beyond that, so from 60 to 100, if you lose, you'll drop down. So what you can do in order for this to don't happen is to quit the match, or you can force close the game. You force close the game by doing this and then close the app, and that also works. But if you just press escape, quit the match, it works fine as well. Just be careful, because the Avengers Tower can be a little bit frustrating because the enemies are so challenging. And it happened many times to YouTubers and streamers like Mobile Gamer that they pressed by mistake and they just lost a match. So you have to be very careful with this, because you really don't want to drop down floors. The reason why you don't want to drop down floors is because the points that you get, they are not linear. So they are scaling, but the scale gets very high when you get to the higher floors. So for example, floor 60 will give you like 2000 points, floor 65 will give you 3000 points, but then floor 80 to 81 will give you 20,000 points, which is 10 times what you were getting on floor 60. And then on floor 90, from 90 to 91, you'll get 200,000 points. So it's going to be very important that you climb all the tower all the way up for you to go back down in case you want to increase your points. So it's going to be very important that you have all of this in mind, and it's very important that you pay attention while you are playing. Otherwise you'll drop down and you will be frustrated and more likely to lose, and then you wasted the entire day, and you really don't want to do that. Okay, so that's all in terms of Avengers Tower. Now there will be an icon somewhere around here that you can press, and then you can see the list of all the enemies that you face. There is no fog of war. You can know exactly which enemies you'll be facing, and this will allow you to organize your roster. So maybe on floor 60 you want to use the symbiotes, and then you want to use the Infinity Watch, but then you see on the room above that the Infinity Watch would actually be better. So you want to organize your roster accordingly to the enemies that you are facing. Once again, you want to use as many teams as possible on the first days, so you can have more options for the later days. This goes for 7 days, and it's 100 floors. Maybe this time it will be 120. And you really want to have your roster organized in order to defeat this challenge. Okay, so that's all about how Avengers Tower work. Now let's take a quick look on how you should organize your roster. So you go to your roster, then you select the filters, and then you see right there the third tab. It's the tower mode, Avengers Tower. This is what this tab is for. And you want to have as many cookie cutter teams as possible, but this is going to be only for the first days, and it's only to give you an idea of which characters you have available, because as soon as you use these characters they disappear, and the characters are only refreshed after 24 hours. So you need to keep this in mind. Every time at 2 PM Pacific the characters will be refreshed. And as I mentioned before as well, you want to use, you have a few teams that they are 100% cookie cutter. You have 5 characters, they are the 5 Sinister Six, or you have the 5 Young Avengers, or you have the 5 Unlimited X-Men. But some characters like Dormammu, they don't have a team. Characters like Kestrel, they don't have an official team. Other characters like Ultron or Doctor Doom, they don't have official teams. So you want to use some of these characters for the earlier floors in order to climb as many floors as possible on the first day. So you can make a team like this at the beginning just to clear the first floors. Other thing that you need to have in mind is that some of the teams are not good enough to participate in Avengers Tower. For example, the skill military team. This team does not have a sustain, this team does not have like a consistent amount of damage and amount of healing. So some teams are going to shine a lot more than others. For example, the Sinister Six, they have a tank, they have a healer, they have tons of negative effects over here, they have good damage, they have good control. So this is going to be a good team for Avengers Tower. Other teams are not going to be as good, for example, the Hero Asgardians, because they are very slow. You might want to use them only 1 or 2 times on very specific situations. Or you can make a hybrid team with Thor, Lady Thor and Valkyrie together with the Hulk and Captain America or something like this. You want to mix match the characters as much as possible on the later stages to make sure that you have a winning team. For example, the Web Warriors, they are a good team for the early floors, but for the last floors they are 100% garbage because they don't have enough sustain and they don't have enough control to deal with the enemies. So what you want to do instead is to use, for example, Spider-Man with other characters. In the previous Avengers Towers, I used the Spider-Man together with Doctor Doom and together with Brotherhood to defeat very challenging enemies. So this is where, like, after floor 60, you have to be very creative on how you use your roster in case you want to climb as high as possible. And as always, you are competing with whales, and the whales, they have all the characters maxed out. So you want to make sure that you are as smart as possible and as creative as possible with your teams in order to do the same thing that they do, but without spending any money. Okay, so those are going to be the best tips for this. You can see some of the teams that we have right here. Those are all good teams that you should have available. For example, the Brotherhood or the Black Order, they are going to be good on stages where you can defeat the enemies fast. The team like Infinity Watch, they are going to be used on a stage where the enemies have too many negative effects, or for example against the Icarus that tries to flip your positive effects but they have safeguard. You need to use all these characters, and you need to use all of these abilities to defeat the tower, and once again it will challenge your creativity and also your knowledge about the game. Okay, so that's all for now. We can take a look at the spreadsheet. This is a spreadsheet that I made with the previous towers. We have the information for most floors all the way to floor 95, and this was where we were able to reach the highest. We have information here from different YouTubers. We have from myself, from Philosopher, Dorkidad and Mr. Artgrave. Those were the only players that made this live, and that's why there is only information about them. So this spreadsheet, I made it, it's my work, it's my time compiled here. And the last time on the previous Avengers Tower, I made this available for everyone on my Discord. And some goons from the Mr. Heartgrave channel, they try to delete these, they try to hack my YouTube channel after, they try to hack my Discord account. It's just a clown fiesta with those guys. But yeah, this time I will probably not share these, or if I share these, I will share in screenshots rather than share the files themselves and the link for my Microsoft account or whatever. So I will probably still share this on my Discord, but it will be in screenshots rather than the Excel file. And that's pretty much it. I really don't understand the attitude or why people have to do this. It's really unnecessary. I had the time and the work to compile this information to help everyone to be successful in this event. So why would you try to hurt me? It's like it's nonsensical. But either way, if I forget about it, tag me on my Discord so I take screenshots of these and post there. And I think that's all for now. We talked about how the Avengers Tower work. We talked about how to organize your teams. And if you guys want to watch the previous towers, you can go on my YouTube channel and you go to the playlist section, and there is at least 1 or 2 playlists where you'll be finding the old Avengers Tower. You can see right here. So we have our team, we have the enemy team, and then let's put this a little bit more in front. Okay, so we defeated this enemy, so we are going to climb the tower. Let's put on pause, and you can see right here the icon where you'll face the enemies. You can see the floor right here, and this is the amount of points that you are getting. But once again, the points at the beginning, they are linear, but then they become exponential. So this is why you don't want to lose any floors. And once again, your checkpoint stage is going to be floor 60. Once again, this is on my Discord, or this is on my YouTube channel, playlists, Avengers Tower. You can check it out in case you want to have an idea of what we are talking about. Otherwise, we'll be live on Friday night, 2 p.m. Pacific time in America, I guess. And we'll be live on YouTube and on Twitch. So if you want to join us, we can do it together. Otherwise, I will after compilate the videos and make it available on my YouTube channel. Okay guys, so that's gonna be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to smash that like button, and if you found the video helpful, make sure to share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and I will catch you guys later.